Hi, let me show you something. These pictures were all generated in under 10 minutes. No prompts, no tweaking. Still, each picture is unique and will never exist again. Let me show you how. Now, why did I do this? We're all on video calls many times, and I don't want any boring pictures as a background, right? I don't like these fake offices with fake plans or whatever. I like something nice, like for example, this here. That's a nice background, or maybe this background, or something more calm like this one here. So I like AI generated backgrounds, but I don't want to spend 20 minutes crafting the perfect prompt just to generate one picture like this. I'm using a concept called constrained serendipity. What does it mean? It's a system that creates AI generated images bounded by intention, which means something like guardrails. I created some guardrails. I'm using randomness to generate prompts within those guardrails, and then the resulting image generator prompts are then fed into an image generator, Amazon Nova Canvas in this case. Is this art? You tell me. The art might be in the system that generates those images. And we'll discuss more about the art aspect later. But first, let me show you a demo. All right, let's try this out. So, over a weekend, I built a system called Serendipity engine that we're going to start right now. Serendipity. And the Serendipity engine is going to create those images for us using generative AI, but without prompting. Instead, it asks a simple question. Where is your attention? So let's find an answer to this question, which is selected randomly. So it's a bit like prompting the user, if you will. So where is our attention right now? In generating art. There we go. And now the system is rolling dice. And out of these random numbers, the system selects from different lists a mood or feeling, an environment, a concept, a time era, and a visual style. So in this case, we get inspired, we get quantum as an environment. That should be interesting. The concept is going to be symphony. The time era is Renaissance, and the visual style is going to be stained glass. So these are the 5 dimensions that were randomly selected in addition to our answer to this question. And if we're happy, we can go along with this, or if not, we can re-roll the dice. So let's say we're happy. And then it puts all of these inputs into Claude Haiku, and then it sends the output to Nova Canvas. And now I'm really curious to see what's coming up. There you go. I didn't expect that, but it's nice. So what happened? Let's go through it a little bit more in detail. So after rolling the dice, we get these dimensions. It also adds what it calls temporal coordinates. It takes the current date and time and maps them into, in this case, late afternoon, Monday, and autumn. So it also generates more input based on the date and time. Not boring date numbers and time numbers, but through the mapping into human concepts like late afternoon, Monday, and autumn, it also adds more to the text input for our image generation model. It also selects a random fortune cookie. I found the fortune cookie database, so it selected a fortune cookie. Be careful of reading health books, you might die of a misprint. Mark Twain. And here's the prompt it generates. It generated the following positive prompt, and you can read it for you. So you can hit pause and read the prompt, but you see that this is really a very detailed prompt. And it also created a negative prompt. So Claude Haiku generated this positive and negative prompt and forwards it to Amazon Nova Canvas to create the image that we saw. And I think the important part is this moment will never occur again. There is no way to recreate the same picture because time passes, so the time component is going to change. The random numbers will be different. Maybe I'll be in a different mood when I answer the question, and the question is going to be different. So this is what the serendipity aspect is. It's totally random. but it's also guided and connected to my own current date and time, to my own feelings, because I answered this question based on what I felt was a good answer here. And it's also guided by the randomness of the fortune cookie and other things. I hope you like this. Now let's talk a little bit about the art aspect. So is this art? Well, a lot of people are arguing that AI-generated pictures are not art. After all, the AI image generator is putting together patterns it picked up from its training data set based on the prompts that you give it with some randomness. But at the end of the day, I think that part of whether an image is art or not are the circumstances around the image. The system here consists of some carefully created or curated lists of concepts, as you've seen, like emotions, like environments, epochs, and other inputs that go into generated the ultimate AI image prompts. So the curation is part of the art itself, because I, as the creator, have curated the lists of inputs that are going in there. I selected them to be positive, to avoid things that are negative, because after all, I want those images to be inspiring. I want them to create positive emotion, and I want them to be nice, right? That feels like art to me. And there are some examples of similar concepts in art history. For example, LeWitt created instruction pieces, and people have been debated, but at the end of the day, they agreed this is art. Brian Eno created generative music. Again, it's not the music that is the art, but the act of creating a system that creates music. That is the art that Brian Eno created. So the art is not the output. The art is in designing the possibility space. Serendipity engine, which is this tool, has a possibility space that is spanned or created by the constraints of which concepts, which lists of words it goes through, the list of fortune cookies that go in there, but also the time of day and all the other inputs that flow into generating the prompt. And that is the system that then creates the image. So I would argue, yes, the system is art, even if the output may not be seen as art. Whether it's art or not, I love using this to create images that inspire me, for creating images for blog posts, for example. You can use this for desktop backgrounds, for mobile phone backgrounds, wallpapers, greeting cards, and you can generate as many pictures like this as you like, and then just select the ones that you like, which is in itself another way of curating the output. So you can check out the GitHub repository. It's an open source tool. It's written in Python. You need an AWS account to run this. You need to have access to Bedrock and the Claude Haiku model, as well as the Nova Canvas model. My question to you, is the Serendipity engine art or not? Do you see the system as art or not? And which of these images do you like? Let's number those images, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And then tell me, which image do you like best and why? I'm really curious to learn what you see within those images. Which ones do you like and why? So let's talk about this. You can find me on Blue Sky, on Mastodon. You can comment below this video. You can send me an email. I'm really curious to learn more about what you think about this concept and about computer-generated art in general. Thank you.